All right, guys, so let's just be honest here, man. As a Dodge guy, we've got one of three options, right? We can keep what we already have, our Scat Packs and our Hellcats and our RTs, and stay in the past with gas-powered V8 Hemis, right? We can move on to the future with what Dodge is offering with the electric Charger, situation that they got coming, the electric Dodge Charger EV, or we can jump ship. Dodge has pretty much been the same since 2015. Interior has been the same. The exterior has been the same. They've given us a wide body kit, true. But the power has been pretty much the same. They give us a bigger supercharger. They give us a bigger air box so that our engines can take in more air, which gives us a little more horsepower here and there. Prices are going through the roof. A new Dodge Charger Hellcat is going to run you somewhere close to about $100,000. That's a house for most people in most states, right? And the fact that a lot of you guys only have 1 year to get these cars before they're pretty much used at that point. Ford, however, is doubling down on their V8. They're making their V8 bigger and giving it more power. Their interior is much more luxurious than anything that we've seen from Ford in the past. Chevy is doubling down on their gas-powered engines and giving us more power. They've got a Chevy E-Ray Corvette C8 that's coming out in the next year or so. That's going to be a hybrid gas-powered engine, right? It's going to be the perfect mix of two, and they're saying that that's going to be 600 to 700 plus horsepower easy. But Dodge, however, wants everybody to jump ship and go headfirst into electric automobiles. And for some people, it's leaving us in the situation where it's like, it may be time to jump ship and move on to something bigger and better. Let's talk about it. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Knockout 360 here with another video. So as you can tell, I'm in the car that makes it a car vlog. You already know what's going down when I come around. Let's get into it. We've got car content, car shows, car reviews, car meets, anything and everything car related happens on this channel. So if you're into that, make sure that you stick around because you are in the right place. For everyone else, hit that subscribe button as well as that notification bell at the bottom so that you know what's coming out and when it's coming out. So, my question is simple right now. The Charger and the Challenger, for the most part, with the exception of the wide body kit, has been the same since 2015, exterior. The interior has been the same since 2015. That's without a doubt. There have been no changes whatsoever to the Charger Challenger interior since 2015. There have been no changes to the technology package to the Dodge Charger since 2015. That's no arguing that. They give us more power. They give us a bigger supercharger. They give us a bigger air box. They give us stronger internals and components. And every year it seems like the Hellcat does about 10 to 15 to 20 horsepower more, right? At first it was the regular Hellcat at 707. Then they boosted that up to 717. Then we got the, I'm not going in order, but then I'm going in order of power. 797 with the red eye, 807 with the jailbreak. Super stock is 807 as well, then the Demon at 840. But one thing that all of those cars have in common, they're still Chargers and Challengers. No difference whatsoever. Interior looks the same, body looks the same. The only difference is the emblems and the hood scoop up front, right? And of course, you know that as of right now, Chargers and Challengers are more expensive now than ever before. You could legitimately walk out of a dealership paying north of $100,000 for a Hellcat right now. Like, that's just how bad things have gotten. And you only got 1 year to get all of this stuff, right? All of these cars, because after this next year, everything's going to be pretty much used and you will literally be in the past because, you'll never be able to buy a brand new Charger or Challenger with the V8 Hemi under the hood. So a lot of things are working against us. But if you look to the other two manufacturers, they seem to be doing pretty well with their gas-powered engines, and they're doubling down on it. We've already talked about Ford and how they're dropping the 2024 Ford Mustang. They're going to be dropping a new variant, the Dark Horse. And then, of course, they've got their GT350, GT500 line that's coming out as well. The Dark Horse is going to be putting down 500 horsepower with the naturally aspirated V8, right? That's a Scat Pack killer, 392 killer all day long. Their interior is much more luxurious than anything that we've seen in the past from Ford. They've just got the two big screens that look like, if you've ever sat in a Mercedes AMG, it's just the two touch screens, the two huge touch screens, landscape mode or whatever the case may be. Completely, it looks really nice. From what I saw online, what I saw that you can see as well, it looks nice. I'm not even gonna front. And then of course, it's got a big V8 500 horsepower engine under the hood of it. You can't beat that. You know what I'm saying? You just simply can't beat that whatsoever. With that being said, guys, this video is sponsored by CarLock. CarLock is a car security device that I stand by and recommend for some extra security and peace of mind if you own a Dodge Charger or Dodge Challenger. Check them out by clicking the link below in the description. Use code Knockout360 for an additional 10% off your Amazon purchase. And also use code Knockout360 for 14 extra free day trial. Chevy is doubling down on their gas-powered engine as well. They've got the, obviously the Chevy Corvette C8, which is revolutionary because it's a mid-engine automobile, which no other manufacturer has seemed to build in America thus far, at least not out of the top three auto manufacturers, Dodge, Chevy, and Ford. So they're first of their kind in that. So they can sit on that platform for another 3 to 5 years and be just fine, because that is revolutionary in and of itself. And of course, they're doubling down on their gas-powered engines. Obviously, they've got their V8 that's out right now. I think it's putting down somewhere between 521, 621, something like that. That may not sound like a lot, but when you've got a car that's built like a knife and it's low to the ground and it's a mid-engine and it's thousands of pounds lighter than any Hellcat you've ever seen, it gives us a run for our money. Trust me, I've seen it firsthand. And then to my understanding, they've got something called the Corvette E-Ray C8 that's going to be coming out this year. That's a combination between hybrid and gas powered. So, you'll be getting the best of both worlds. You'll be getting a hybrid and a gas powered engine, which I think is something that Dodge should have considered before going all the way electric. But to my understanding, that E-Ray is going to be putting 700 to 750 plus. Now, once again, those may sound like some underwhelming numbers, but you got to understand how the Corvette functions. Like, that's a knife cutting through warm butter, as opposed to a sledgehammer knocking down a tree or something. That's the equivalent of what I like to call. There's a difference between how the C8 functions and drives and how a Hellcat functions and drives. Completely different, completely different manufacturing and engineering. I say all that to say, guys, it seems like, Dodge is really pushing this electric BS, and a lot of people are not down for it. When I look at my comments, 90% of you guys hate the idea of an electric muscle car, quote unquote. You want the V8 experience. You want that cold start. You want to sit at the light when your car is shaking a little bit because your engine's shaking it. You want to be able to rev your engine and actually hear real engine sounds, not fake JBL Sony speaker sounds under the hood of your car. You want the V8 experience. Rightfully so, I do too. But when you look across the aisle and you see what Ford and Chevy are doing, it looks to me like they're doubling down, It looks to me like they're doubling down on their V8s and their gas-powered engines, and they're just making them bigger and more powerful. I mean, Ford's situation was literally a slap in the face to Dodge because they're not even offering a hybrid option, let alone an electric option. Like, they're not offering none of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're not offering any of those options whatsoever. Everything that they offer is strict. Well, I take that back. I think that there is a hybrid Mustang option, but it's like at the bottom or something like that. Like, it's like entry level type stuff. Like, so I take that back. I think Ford is offering a hybrid option, but it's not electric, but it is a hybrid option. Of course, they've got the Mustang Mach-E, which is like a SUV. That's a mom go-getter. But, they're not even offering a hybrid / electric option for their high performance vehicles. Everything's strictly V8. And Chevy, to my understanding, they're going to keep their V8 and they're just going to make it bigger and offer more power. And to my understanding, they're going to go the route of the hybrid, where they're having a V8 on one side, but the hybrid engine on the other side. Then that's going to be their Chevy E-Ray. So with all of this news dropping and all of these other manufacturers doing big things, are you going to stay with Mopar? Is Mopar doing it for you at this point? It's one of those things like, the time is getting near, because it's like, one more year and then Chargers and Challenger V8s will be old news. So it's one of those things like, are you going to stay in the past with what you already have, that V8? Are you going to move to the future with the electric V8? Or are you just going to jump ship entirely and go out and get you a Ford, a Chevy, a Mercedes, a BMW, something else? Shout out to my man Louis the 13th, man, big YouTuber out in California. He made the change. He completely left Dodge and went and got him a BMW, clean ass BMW. It's an M series BMW. He got it in that dark blue, that dark midnight blue. Shout out to my man Louis the 13th, man. He went from scat to BMW. So he went from American to German luxury, American muscle to German luxury. And that's something that I've noticed that a lot of people will do, is that If they're done with American cars altogether, they'll go from American muscle to German immediately. Because with the Germans, as far as Audi, as far as Mercedes, as far as BMW, they give you the best of all worlds. They give you power with their V8s. They give you luxury for obvious reasons. They give you the technology updates, all that stuff, technology, presence, all that stuff. You're getting it with, you know, those German auto manufacturers. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things like, you know, the power really is in the consumer's hands. Like nobody's hog tying you to stay with Dodge at this point. You know, I mean, it would make sense financially to, you know, keep what you have if you got a Scat or a Cat. But it's like, you know, as car guys, sometimes we get bored. I mean, when you modified your car to the point where it's like, you don't even recognize it, you know, it's one of those things like it may be time to switch it up. In other words, it may be time to just leave Dodge altogether. And I've seen a lot of people do it. I've seen people go from Scats and Cats to BMWs. I've seen them go to Chevys. Got one guy in my car club, and you're going to see this in my video this week. He had a wide body Scat Pack Challenger in lime green, which made it kind of a one-of-one kind of thing, because I don't really think they make that sublime green in wide bodies anymore, or they didn't prior to this year. But he went from that to a Mach 1 Mustang. Shout out to my man Cedric. He left Scat Pack Challenger, wide body, clean, powerful, monster. He went from that to the Mach 1 Mustang, and that Mach 1 Mustang is gorgeous. You know what I'm saying? It is gorgeous. And it looks like it's ready to go. And you know those Mustangs with that 10-speed automatic transmission, those things go. And you don't have to do much to them to make them go, they just go. But you can do a lot more with $100,000 than putting it into a Mopar, a Challenger, a Charger. And this is coming from me. Like, I'm a Dodge guy, but I'm telling you the truth. Like, if you run up on me and you're like, man, I just got a deal. I just got a 2022 Hellcat Challenger for $110,000 and I'm paying $2,100 a month. Woo, you know, I'm gonna be upset. I'd be more happy or just as ecstatic if you would have told me that you took that $100,000 and put it into a AMG S63 or AMG S 65 or something like that. I think the four-door coupe AMG S63 monster V8 bi-turbo engine, 600 plus horsepower. It's a Mercedes. Come on now. I'd be much happier with you telling me that than telling me that you put $110,000 into a Hellcat Challenger. Unless it's like a demon or something, then I could understand, or maybe a demon driven by Goldberg or something wild like that, or the first demon off the first or the last demon off of the line, but not just a regular old 700 horsepower Hellcat. I mean, I don't like those numbers, man. For a lot of people, I don't like those numbers. Now, if money's not an option, do what you do. Like, you know, enjoy your life, get what you want. But, you know, you just got to be careful out here, man. Are you happy with your Dodge Charger, your Dodge Challenger? Are you happy with Dodge enough to stay a Mopar fanboy? Or are you going to jump ship at some point? Have you already mapped it out? Like, I'm jumping ship at some point. Like, I'm out of here. I'm going to hold on to my Scat and my Cat and play around for a little bit. But other than that, I'm out. First thing smoking. As soon as the C8s drop, as far as price is concerned, I'm out of here. You know? I don't know, man. Talk to your boy, man. Like, subscribe, comment. It's your boy Knockout 360. I just want to find out where you guys' head is at, because you know, Dodge really isn't giving us a lot to be overly excited about. I mean, even their you know, their last call editions, with the exception of the Charger 1320, all the other ones were just graphics package. And you're going to be paying anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000 to $10,000 more for that, just to see Swinger on the side of your car, which some of you may not want that word on the side of your car. I don't personally, but I mean, you know, like, you're paying money just for graphics. You're paying money for stickers and emblems and stuff like that. And it's one of those things like, listen, I can go to eBay just like the next man. I don't need you to add that on to my monthly price. So they're not really giving us a lot to be hopeful for when it comes to the future. I mean, I saw the electric Charger, the 2024 Dodge Charger EV. I saw it in a bright red or tour red. And I'm not going to lie, it looks good, but not good enough to the point where it's like, I want to change my whole life up for an electric car, you know? But then again, that's just me. I mean, some people want the V8 experience and they can never see themselves being in an electric car. And some people are like, I just want speed and power. And if speed and power is what you want, then to my understanding, the new EV charger is going to be next level. That may be where you want to be. You know what I'm saying? But if you want the experience, if you want the V8 experience, all that good stuff, you really might consider jumping ship and moving on. I mean, I think even Kia has got a 560 horsepower something coming out. Optima coming out, I believe. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's jumping on the big horsepower market right now, but it seems like Dodge is like, let's go completely different, you know, something that nobody has ever seen, which it may work out, it may not, I don't know. But as always, guys, talk to your boy, man. How do you feel about it? What's your 5-year plan? Yeah, that's a good question. What's your 3 to 5 year plan right now with your car? Can you see yourself in a Scat Pack, a Hellcat, the new Dodge Charger EV? Or do you see yourself jumping ship? That's a good question right there. Next 3 to 5 years, where do you see yourself? You know, where do you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years? Answer that question for me, guys. As always, it's been your boy Knockout. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, man. Peace.